candidate Jair Bolsonaro has won the first round of the presidential elections. The controversial Social Liberal Party leader won 46% of the vote. That's 49 million votes, just missing the majority he needed for an outright win. He'll now face a second round of voting against a candidate from the opposite end of the political spectrum, Workers' Party candidate Fernando Haddad. The result of this first round represents huge political divisions in Brazil. Well, let's get more on this, and to do that, we're joined by journalist Cleusi de Oliveira, who's in Brasilia. Good morning to you, Ms. Oliveira. Nice to speak to you on the programme this morning. Now, Bolsonaro is obviously a controversial candidate. He's done extremely well in this first round. Do you put that down to a clever campaign run by him?
Well, it's difficult to say because it's certainly been clever. He's weaponized the internet and the kind of memes and social media, but at the same time, he spent the last month without being able to take to the streets to campaign because he was stabbed in early September. So it was a confluence of things that have led to this moment. The president of his party said that a lot of it was about him being on the ground with the people, holding their hands, you know, being really face to face with them. Do you think there's some truth in that? I do think that there's some truth in that, although obviously that was not possible in the past month or so. It's also the case that there's just been so much polarization, and he has taken advantage of that by speaking to a lot of Brazilians' fears. There's this somewhat irrational fear that Brazil will succumb to communism and be like Venezuela if he doesn't win, and so that's kind of one of the platforms that he has been campaigning on.
You touched on it there, the polarization of the country. Did this first round of election expose the extent to which Brazil is a divided nation at the moment? And how does that division manifest itself?
Oh, there's no doubt about it that there's extreme polarization right now. Just so you have an idea, the center candidates have been absolutely demolished in this first round, even including the party PSDB. It hadn't not won a first round in over 6 elections. This is the first time since then. So, and the candidates that were considered the moderates have gotten single-digit percentages of votes.
If Bolsonaro, as expected, does become Brazil's next president, what do you think that'll mean outwardly facing for Brazil's place in the world, for what Brazil represents in world politics?
I think that'll be very complicated for Brazil because he certainly represents a hardline right-wing candidate who has praised the dictatorship in Brazil. So we don't know if that means a return to authoritarianism here, and how the other countries around the world will respond to any kind of curtailment of democracy.